This is not a real sword, okay? All right, I've talked about this in previous videos. This is just something I bought off of eBay because I thought it would be neat to own a sword. As you can see, it's metal. As you can see, glimmering under the light, metal, right? I'll put it back in the scabbard. And it says right here, the sheath, if you will. It says right here, right? It says right here, made in China, okay? Meaning it's not real, all right? And much like how this sword isn't real, I'm not a real samurai for owning it. I'm not a real samurai for carrying it around, okay? I'm just a guy that carries this around. It's not a real samurai sword. I'm not a real samurai. I'm not even trained in how to use this. I can draw it and like a proper, underhand out kind of situation, that thing. That's it. I'm not trained. I just watched a YouTube video and practiced it over and over and over again. But that's the limit of what I know how to do with this. And in no way am I trained in combat, much like how Yasuke wasn't, apparently. As you can see right here, Mr. Thomas Lockley, an associate professor at Nihon University, the man behind the revisionist history of Japan and famous for his books about the legendary Black Samurai, and I'm saying it like that because he lied about this, all right? To take a real man's life, listen to me, to take a real man's life, an extraordinary tale at that, and say that that's not cool enough. Let's turn him into something cooler for us people that aren't even born in this land. It just makes me so angry that they can't accept that Yasuke was unique on his face. That a black man in Japan in the 1500s was absolutely unheard of, and for a daimyo to care about him, not immediately expel him, is another story in and of itself. Yasuke was clearly a bodyguard for Nobunaga because he was 5'10" in a land when most people in Japan, right, were 5'3". He looked like a giant. They couldn't fit armor on him. Okay? He was not a legendary samurai by any measure. He carried the sword for Nobunaga, and he was tall. The end. Okay? I know I'm diminishing that. That's not to diminish Yasuke, but I am tired of hearing that this guy was some massive lord, that he was beloved across the land. He was an oddity in a land that didn't understand him, but for some reason was very, very kind, very, very open-hearted toward this complete alien outsider to them. There weren't a lot of Africans wandering around Japan in 1500. So I am just through the roof with this. Famous for his books about the legendary Black Samurai Yasuke, has deleted all his social media and disappeared from the internet. This happened after he was caught editing academic papers on Wikipedia since 2015. Since 2015, this guy has been going in and repetitively promoting his own works inside of there, promoting his own books, his own papers as the authority on the matter. Let's get into what this super genius had to say about this whole thing. The associate professor at Nihon University. And he says he's telling the Japan Times, he's trying to correct the Japan Times on the understanding of their own history, okay? And he says, what seems to be is that people who know nothing about Japanese history, know nothing about Japan in most cases, and certainly know nothing about the Japanese language and terminology they're talking about. Suddenly, they know everything. Why'd you delete your social media, pal? Why'd you delete the Facebook page that promotes your stupid book of lies? Grums brings this amazing news to us. Wait till you see this, right? Wait till you see this. This is his Facebook page. I told you, right up here at the top. You can't see it in this one. We'll pop over here into another window so you can see it. There it is right there, up at the top. See the mouse wiggling back and forth up here? African Samurai Yasuke. That was the title of his book. Deleted. Whoops. It's gone. That content isn't available right now. Gee, if the veracity of your claims were so true, sir, if you were so righteous in correcting every other person on this matter, why would you go delete the evidence of that righteousness? Let's go on. Let's find out some more about this jerk-off. In fact, here we are. This is the list of Totori Tom's edits on Wikipedia's page about Yasuke. This borders on some kind of fetishistic obsession. Like someone needs to sit down with this Lockley loser and find out just what's wrong up here to make him so obsessed with this. It's almost like he wanted to use the history of a black man to make himself famous. So anyway, the page Yasuke shows up in 2012. It is edited in 2015 by, his reference was changed to a paper by Thomas Lockley in 2016, right? So this reference was made, all right? So it refers to his own works. I'm sorry, I'm sweating, I'm mad, I'm boiling over with this rage, dude. This is absolutely unacceptable. We can't have this in this world right now today, especially after what's happening. I don't care when this video gets seen. There's chaos every day. Right now, the control of information means life or death. This kind of abuse seems minuscule. It seems tiny. Oh, he edited the Wikipedia page. But you've seen what happened now. Some weirdos have been going around being very violent over things they see on the internet, no less. Must I remind you all of what happened to Senator Gabby Giffords? And the fellow that thought it was fun to go after her because she didn't understand the currency? That's where this stuff gets started. When you start warping history and emboldening people to rage against the actual authority on that historical front. So again, 2016, he's editing the paper again, crediting himself again. Nobunaga and Yasuke, the black samurai who survived the Honnoji Temple, is now on sale. Again, promoting his own stuff. So not only is he making sure that he's the authority on this, right? He's making sure that he's making money off of being the authority. Yeah, the reference again, Totori Tom comes in here. The Sakura Bunruso and Nobunaga, the black samurai who survived the Honnoji Temple. I probably butchered that. My apologies. Again, he's editing his stuff back again. He keeps referencing himself in his edits. You have to understand, you can't do that. You can't go out there and be like, I decided this is true and I put out a book, so that means I'm right. That means I'm right because I put out a book. I published a book, so that means I'm right and you're wrong. And he goes through and does this. He insists that he's corrected on this. Now, I can't find the screenshots today of this guy in the back room arguing with the other Wikipedia editors, actual Japanese historians on this, and yet he insists on editing these pages over and over and over again, insisting that his lies, that pay him money, by the way, these lies that line his pockets, are fact. This is ridiculous. But let's go back and find out just what this authority is all about, why anybody took him seriously to begin with. So he says, most tellingly, this is back with the Japan Times. This is a dissection of the Japan Times interview with him where he's talking down to the Japanese. And he says, most tellingly, this is a person referring to Lockley's works. And they say, most tellingly, however, is that no reputable Japanese historian has raised doubts about Yasuke's samurai's bona fides, including Sakujin Kirino. I think I pronounced that right. It could be Kirino or Kirino, I'm not sure. Who served as a fact checker. That's a fun word, right? We all know what fact checker means on African samurai, and is one of the country's foremost experts on the 1582 Honnoji Temple incident, which we saw referenced earlier, which is where the title of Yasuke the Black Samurai and Nobunaga, which is Lockley's book that he keeps putting into Wikipedia. All right, now he's this Sakujin. He is Sakujin. I think I'm saying that right. Kirino, anyway, is a expert on this. Okay. Now they reached out to this guy to find out what's going on. There he is, Kirino Sakujin, right there on Twitter. Right? They went out and they're like, "Hey, man, you're over here at the Musashino University Institute for Political Economy. Can you answer some questions for us? You, the foremost expert, brought into this, and you'll never guess what he had to say on this, right?" And he says, he's replying to the question about this, and he says, The Japanese edition of Nobunaga and Yasuke by Thomas Lockley, published by Ota, I believe it's OHTA, Ota, Publishing in 2017, translator Yoshiko Fuji, asked me to read through it and provide my thoughts. I gave a few comments, but nothing as grand as a fact check. Do you see this? The sweat is running off of me. I am so angry over this. This guy has been the central point for every blue-haired yuck-em-up out there, including the Assassin's Creed dev team, to say that this guy deserves to be treated as a samurai and bowed to by people in the 1500s. He should be walking around in full samurai regalia, broad daylight, and peace times. It blows my mind. And this is the guy that's the source of all of it. This is the guy that produces the papers, the books, the references that these jerk-offs making the game are referencing. So if you got a problem with Assassin's Creed, you got a problem like me with them rewriting Yasuke's real and amazing life. Again, this guy, I diminished it earlier because I'm mad, but please understand, he had an incredible, incredible life, guys. Yasuke had an incredible life. He came to Japan. Nobunaga liked him so much. He made him his bodyguard. He gave him his sword to carry around. The sword is a ceremonial item to the daimyo, the regional lord, which is what Nobunaga was at the time, okay? This is a weapon, not this one, because this is a fake. It's, made in China. Probably break if I hit anything with it. But the sword that Nobunaga allowed Yasuke to carry around and call him his official sword bearer, that sword was used for killing or ceremony. That's it. It was not paraded around. It was not used to signal people on a hill with a reflection. It was a very important piece of the culture at that time. And so Yasuke having the honor of carrying this around, Yasuke having the honor that even Nobunaga's blooded clan members didn't get, that wasn't cool enough for Thomas Lockley. He had to completely rewrite this man's life because it wasn't cool enough. This is what you're up against now. Now you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has taken this man's word as law, and decided to go balls deep on this, to go balls to the wall protecting this narrative. And now he's exposed as a liar. This is what we get when we allow people to warp history. That's why it matters to protect your culture from corporations that want to squeeze every last dime, dollar, and penny out of it. Remember this day as the day that corporations had egg royally rubbed in their face. I'm going to go stick my head in the freezer. I don't know, man. I am so over-the-top angry about this. If you're as mad as I am, get down in those comments and let us know. This is ridiculous to do this to a real human being. Make up a fake character. You've done it for every Assassin's Creed game before. Why now? I don't know. I got to end the video. I'm going to start another rant. All right, I got to go, guys. I will see you in the next video. Good luck out there.